Hello everyone, welcome back to the Biology Blend. Continuation of the human reproductive unit. Video contain topic female reproductive organ. Female reproductive organ. Female reproductive organ. It lies in the pelvic region. It's include ovaries, fallopian tube, ureterus, cervix, vagina, external genitalia, and mammary gland. In mammary gland, it is part of integumentary system. And what is integumentary system? Integumentary system is basically related to skin. So mammary gland help in the nourishment of the child. Sorry, ureter spelling is wrong. Discuss about the ovaries. Ovaries is 3 to 4 centimeter long. 3 to 4 centimeter long. It is attached to the pelvic wall and ureterus with ligament. With It is attached to the pelvic wall and it is attached to the ureterus with the help of the ligaments. It is almond in shape. Almond size in shape. Size in shape. Histology. Histology of ovaries is it has the cortex and medulla. Cortex has the dense, irregular connective tissue. Medulla has loose connective tissue with blood vessels. It has ovarian follicles, which and what is ovarian follicle? Ovarian follicle is the ovum, is the basically ovum surrounded by the granulosa cells. It is the ovum surrounded by the granulosa cells. Now next is the ovary. Next is the fallopian tube. Ten to 12 centimeter long. Fallopian tube has three parts. Infundibulum, ampulla, and isthmus. What's a feature of the infundibulum? Infundibulum is the part of the fallopian tube which lies near the ovary, lies near ovary, lies near the ovary. It has this special structure or hair-like structure called fimbriae, which catches the ova from xylem. Actually, the ova is released in the body cavity. Ova is released in the body cavity, and the fimbriae, the hair-like structure, catches the ova. Catches the ova in the fallopian tube. Ampulla is the widest part of fallopian tube, and fertilization occur here. Fertilization occur here. Isthmus connected to the uterus. Connected it to the uterus. Isthmus connected. There is the time period that the ova and the sperm must be simultaneously at the same time present in the ampulla. Then the fertilization occur, and nowhere else can occur. Third is the ureterus. Ureterus has the two parts, body and the fundus. Here, the implantation of the baby occur. A uterus histologically three layer: perimetrium, outer layer, dense connective tissue; myometrium, inner layer, muscular layer; endometrium, highly vascular layer. Highly vascular, highly vascular. Myometrium is the three-layer muscular layer. Perimetrium is the outside layer. Visceral perimetrium, parietal perimetrium, no use. So endometrium, vascular area, endometrium has two layers: strata, basic layers, and strata functionalis. Strata basilaris and strata functionalis. Basilis and strata functionalis, it shed. Strata functionalis shed during menstruation or bleeding of this blood. Okay. It's highly vascular. It's shed during the menstruation. It endometrium undergoes the proliferation. One more point. It undergo proliferation as act of estrogen hormone. As the act of the estrogen hormone, ureterus leads to the part known as the cervix. Fourth part is the cervix. Cervix, it has the two opening. Basically, it is a tube-like structure. The outer part, the outer towards the vagina is known as the external os, and the internal is known as the internal os. External os. Os means opening, and internal os. It has a special mucus called the cervical mucus and does not undergo menstruation. Does not undergo mensuration. Okay, that's correct. Cervical mucus become thin and sticky on activity of estrogen. Okay, and it become thick and hard on activity of progesterone. Yes, that's correct. It become the thick and hard on the activity of the progesterone, and the cervix leads to the vagina. Fifth is the vagina. It is non-glandular, fibrous, fibromuscular part. It is lined by cuboidal non-keratinized epithelium. It is lined by the cuboidal non. It is lined by stratified squamous non-keratinized epithelium. Sorry, I was wrong. It's important point. It is lined by the stratified squamous non-keratinized epithelium. Non-keratinized is the important point. Let me show you an image of the female reproductive organ. So here you will see ovary releases over here. This is the fimbriae of fallopian tube. This is the fallopian tube. Fallopian tube, three parts: infundibulum, ampulla, and the isthmus. This is the fimbriae of fallopian tube which catches the ova. Which catches the ova. Here is the ovary, releases ova. Ova goes here. It is this height of the fertilization. Ova comes over here. It is the uterine cavity, endometrium, myometrium, and the perimetrium. Endometrium, myometrium, and perimetrium. Cervix, internal os, external os, cervical canal, and the vagina. Cervical canal and the vaginal canal forms the birth canal. It forms the birth canal. Cervical canal and the vaginal canal forms the birth canal. Hymen. It is thin fold of vascularized mucous membrane which is present just inside vaginal opening. It's generally ruptured during first coitus or may persist after first coitus. It can be ruptured during heavy exercise like horse riding, playing hockey. It can be ruptured over there, or it may persist after the first coitus. Coitus is sexual intercourse. Yes. Now, next is the external genitalia. External genitalia, which are mons pubis, labia majora, labia minora, vestibule. Vestibule is the apparatus. Vestibule is the apparatus which has two openings, urethral and vaginal. Yes. Fifth is the perinatum. It is the space between the vaginal opening and anus opening. Vaginal and anus opening. Yes. External genitalia, we have mammary glands. Mammary gland, it is modified sweat gland. Modified sweat gland, apocrine gland, its form milk in lactating women. Form milk in the lactating woman, nourishes the child. So how the milk formation occur? Tell you the mammary lobules. Let me show you first the pic. Here is the mammary alveolus, mammary lobule. Each breast has 5 to 6 mammary lobule. Mammary lobe. Mammary lobe. Then after the alveolus, mammary duct, ampulla, lactiparous duct, then to nipple, and there is the pigmentation around the nipple, which is known as the areola. Yes. So course of milk, it is formed by the mammary alveolus. It is formed by the mammary alveolus. After that, going into the mammary duct opening into the mammary duct open into the ampulla. ampulla opening into the lactiferous duct, which is opening into the nipple, and pigmentation around nipple is called areola. Actual में how the milk is ejected, the baby sick the nipple, and the sensation goes from the nipple to the posterior pituitary, releasing the oxytocin hormone. Oxytocin compresses the muscle of the breast and the milk is ejected into the mouth of the baby. Yes. So here is the factor. Alveoli development is regulated by progesterone. Alveoli development is regulated by progesterone. Ducts developed by progesterone. Ducts developed by estrogen. Ducts are developed by estrogen. Milk is formed by prolactin. And milk is ejected by oxytocin. Milk is ejected by oxytocin. Thank you guys for watching. Next video topic will be on the gametogenesis. Don't forget it to like, subscribe and press the bell icon. Have a great time.